Close your eyes. Put your hand in mine and then come right away with me.
What's up, everyone? My name is Stu, and I have some views on wrestling. Today, we're going to be talking about John Cena's last 5 appearances in the WWE. We already know one of them, which is Crown Jewel Perth. He's going to be taking on AJ Styles. The match that was announced via Twitter, Cena, he went on there and said, "Hey, you want to see me fight AJ Styles?" Everybody else said, "Duh," because you just fought Lesnar and you got your ass whooped. And it was kind of a dog shit match, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So we want to see Cena go out on top. We want to see them have good matches, and who better to do that than with AJ Styles? We already know about the chemistry they've had for years. You know, they fought over the WWE Championship. Their match at the Royal Rumble, amazing. You know, I actually might go back and watch that. That was fantastic. Anyway, so after that announcement, you know, again, it's going to be a great main event. Cena's probably going to win that. I don't see the point of AJ Styles beating Cena. He doesn't really gain anything from that. Besides, he's already in a feud with El Grande Americano, and AJ doesn't need the power of beating Cena to beat Americano. Even though Americano, he's on the up and up. You know what I mean? He's over right now, but it's AJ Styles. He doesn't need the power. He should just be able to beat El Grande. Period. But whatever, that's a whole nother discussion. Whatever. Video coming down the line. Anyway, so I see Cena beating AJ Styles. Next up, we have Boston, Massachusetts, which is Cena's hometown. It's going to be a big show for Cena. Obviously, he's his final show at his hometown, so they're probably going to want to do something big. Everyone's saying, "Oh, why don't you fight Dominic Mysterio and beat him for the IC title?" No, I don't want to see that. I think it's going to be whack. Not saying that I don't want to see that, like, as far as, like, you know, it wouldn't be great or fun or entertaining. It would be. But in the long run, why do that? Because you obviously know that Judgment Day or the Americanos are going to interfere on behalf of Dom, and it's going to end in a DQ anyway. Like, Cena's not going to lose the Dom clean. Unless they do that, and that'd be crazy, but I just don't see that happening. So, besides Dom, I would like to see Cena go down his, list of old rivals and fight Sheamus. Cena comes out and says, "Hey, hey, I'm home. I want to do something special for y'all." And then Sheamus comes out and says, "Hey, fella, let's fight in the main event." Boom. Hard fought, banger match, whatever. And Cena wins. Cena's building momentum. I'm about to get to my next point in a second, but he beats AJ Styles. Then he beats Sheamus. 2 very, credible, contenders, fighters. So the next week, which is his 3rd appearance coming up, it's going to be at MSG in, Madison Square Garden. So that's going to be a big show. They're going to try to make it a sellout. They're going to try to do something big for that. You got Cena in the house. So, again, last final appearance. So what I'm thinking is Cena, he can come out and be like, "Hey, I just beat Sheamus last week. I beat AJ Styles. I'm feeling good right now. Maybe I should go for number 18. Seth Rollins, I'm challenging you for the match right now, tonight, however you want to phrase it." Seth comes out. He's like, "Nah, we ain't going to do that. Nah, da-da-da." But you know how Cena is. He can cook fucking Seth's ass on the mic and goats him into that match. And main event, boom. You got Cena versus Seth, World Heavyweight Championship. Now, obviously, he's not going to win because of interference from the Vision, which is, again, why I didn't want to see him do that with Dom. However, in this case, if the Vision, if they interfere, it can lead to something else, which is the next appearance for John Cena, War Games. Now, obviously, with War Games, you can kind of see the pieces falling together on what matches are going to happen at War Games. You're going to see, obviously, the Vision somehow be in War Games match. I don't know what the teams will look like, I have an idea on what the teams are going to look like. I just don't know if they're going to go this way. But what I would like to see is, so you have the Vision, right? He's on top of the world, right? Then on the other side of the Vision, you obviously have the Usos fighting Braun and Bronson right now. You have LA Knight still kind of feuding with Rollins / Division, so that's 3-on-3 right there, right? So you need 2 more people. They normally do 5-on-5 these days. Even though I do like the 3-on-3-on-3 War Games, like that shit in NXT was amazing. So hopefully they do something like that again, but I don't think they're going to go back to that. So what I would like to see personally on Team Vision, I would like to see the New Day join the Vision and fight the team of, LA Knight, the Usos, Roman Reigns, because he just came back, and John Cena. Cena, he's never been in a War Games match. I feel like you kind of have to have him in this War Games match. It's his final Survivor Series. It's a big, A story pretty much. Like the Vision, they're the number one thing right now in WWE. Cena's retirement, that's also another huge thing. Why not, combine both of those? Right now you have Roman, returning to help the Usos to fight off the Vision, Seth and Roman. There's so many connecting pieces there. Now, you're probably wondering, why did you mention the New Day then? Well, the New Day, they have an issue with LA Knight right now. You know what I mean? So there's connection there. They also have history with the Usos, obviously, They have history with Roman Reigns because of, Roman crushing Xavier Woods' crown, after he won King of the Ring. I mean, there's so much history between all these people that I feel like that's the most organic feud / match to happen at War Games, and it'll be a big deal, you know what I mean? This is a sad part. This isn't about Cena, but as far as the women, I don't know what the women's War Games match is going to be. Maybe something with Asuka and Io and Rhea, something, I don't know. But anyway, that's another video for another day. Anyway, so with that War Games match though, obviously I see the Vision winning that. I don't see Team Cena winning that. It'd be cool, but I feel like the Vision, they're on a streak right now, and they need to keep building momentum until eventually Mania comes up. Maybe the Vision wins the tag titles at some point. Maybe Rollins, he goes into Mania and walks out as champion. I know some people want to see him fight CM Punk, but again, it's going to be a good match if they do fight at Mania, but we kind of seen it already a lot. This feud's been going on for a while, so if they do fight at Mania, Punk would have to win. However, if it's anybody else, I kind of see Seth Rollins retaining. But anyway, this video is about John Cena, so let's move on to the next thing. So, let's say the Vision wins the match, right? Kind of like how last year or 2 years ago, after War Games, the faces won, Randy Orton came back and all that, and then boom, after the credits, CM Punk pops up, and shocks the world that he's back in WWE. Now we could do a reverse of that, the Vision, they win, whatever, Cena, he's waving his goodbyes and all that, and then the lights go out, you see Gunther, the light pops up, he beats the shit out of John Cena. He's like, I'm retiring you just like how I retired Goldberg. I'm sick of y'all. I'm very pissed off. I'm going for the one at the top. I'm beating the 17-time world champion. Nobody can stop me. Gunther. That's what I want to see. There was rumors about Gunther fighting Cena about a year ago for his retirement tour. Hopefully that does stay true. And yeah, I would just really like to see it. It'd be a really good thing for Gunther to beat Goldberg and Cena in both their retirement matches. That's kind of crazy. So we shall see. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your views in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, all that other shit, Yeah, drink some water, man. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a good one.